Okay, well, good morning.
Good morning.
Does anybody have any special requests today? Ooh.
That's what we get for not speaking.
Okay, some core workouts and with some of your back stuff helping with the core. Any special requests?
Oh, maybe hamstrings.
Some hamstring stretches. Okay. All right, let's start in child's pose this morning. You can come onto your hands and knees, bring your big toes to touch and your knees apart and walk your arms out. Drop your forehead. Forearms can relax or be lifted. Just taking a few rounds of breath here. And breathe in and out through the nose, maybe even beginning that ujjayi sound, that whisper sound through the base of your throat. And then you're going to come up onto your hands and knees and actually make your way onto your back. So there's a special diaphragmatic breath that we'll start with right here. So you'll lay down on your back and bring your feet flat to the floor and arms down by your side. And then it's similar to bridge, but you're not going so high. So you'll lift your hips up off the ground like bridge, but keep your rib cage on the ground. So the back part of the rib cage, you want to press firmly towards the ground. So we'll feel a little bit more focused on the upper abs. And then as you breathe in, try not to let the belly lift. As you breathe in, you want to breathe sideways. Feel the lungs expand. And as you breathe out, you're going to exhale all the way out. Pull the front ribs in, back, and down. So the floating ribs pull in, back, and down every exhale. And then inhale. Expand sideways, try to keep the belly slightly firm. And exhale. Pull the front ribs in towards the midline, back towards the floor, and down towards the pelvis. 3 more breaths just like that. So you should be feeling the muscles around the upper abs a little bit. And this is helping the diaphragm work to completion, finding the complete exhale. So pelvis is slightly lifted off the ground. Ribs are pulled towards the earth. Let's take one more breath here. That inhale, expanding. Exhale. Empty and ribs back and down. And then slowly lower your pelvis down to the mat and just pause. Did everyone feel that? We'll do one more round of those. So maybe bringing your feet a little closer in towards you or closer together, just adjusting them slightly. And then tuck the tailbone up, lift the pelvis off the mat, press the rib cage to the mat, and then start that breathing where you inhale, expanding the rib cage, using the full capacity of lungs, and exhale, emptying completely, pulling the front ribs in, back, and down. A few more breaths just like that. You're also feeling your glute muscles, maybe working slightly, leg muscles working slightly, really focusing a lot on those. The diaphragm and the abdominal muscles. One more breath. Good, exhaling. One more, full inhale. Exhale. Every last drop out. And then lower the pelvis to the mat. Good, and then gently draw your knees up into your chest. Give a little rock from side to side. And take your arms out wide with the palms of the hands on the ground. And you'll breathe in here. And on your exhale, try to curl the tailbone up slightly. So you're pulling the rib cage to the mat again. And then take the knees to the right about halfway towards the floor. Let the shoulders stay loose. And then exhale, coming back to center. and curl the tailbone up. Inhale, knees to the left. Exhale, pull it to center, curling the tailbone up. Inhale, knees to the right. Exhale. And really focusing on that in, back, and down sensation with the bottom ribs. Keep going side to side, your own breath. Really focusing on knitting those ribs together. That's another way to say it. So those bottom floating ribs, you're pulling them in, back, and down strongly on the exhale. Couple more each side. Last one. And then hug the knees up into your chest, giving a gentle squeeze. And you'll begin to rock front to back along the length of your spine, coming all the way up to sitting and rolling all the way back. And then come on up and pause here, feet to the floor, rock back again. So you're focusing on that same kind of location, front ribs in, back, and down. The music keeps going out today. This is Mia technology. It's like just it's in the air. Sorry. Okay, take your arms out. You're gonna breathe in. And as you breathe out, pull the elbows to the ribs, pull those front ribs in, back, and down. So squeezing through the sides. Inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale, exhale. Pull those front ribs in, back, and down. You feel it? Good. One more time. Exhale, squeeze it in. Hold that. Stay there. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pulling in all the rib cage muscles around the ribs. All right. Good. Cross your ankles or feet sideways. Come onto hands and knees. And then drop the belly into cow, stretching out the front of the body. And then tuck the tail, chin to chest, arching. Inhaling. Cow. Exhaling into cat. Inhale. Exhale. Come to neutral. Take your hands forward, one hand length, tuck your toes under. Lift up to downward facing dog. Down dog can be full of movement, pedaling, or it can be still. Steady with a steady breath and steady gaze. And draw both heels down towards the ground. Spread the fingers, root down through the hands. Then you'll lift your heels and roll your body forward, coming into a high plank. So you tuck the tail, roll forward, high plank, and then press back, downward facing dog. Do that a couple times. Heel up, heels up, roll the body forward, high plank, pulling into center, and then press back to downward facing dog. 3 more. Heels up, roll forward, high plank, and press back, downward facing dog. Heels up, roll forward, high plank, pulling into that same spot, front ribs in, back, and down. And back to downward dog. Last one, come forward, high plank, and then lower down onto your belly. Good, and then come up to Sphinx pose. Come up onto the forearms. Drive the rib cage forward. You can have your eyes open or eyes closed. It's just a no music day, so it'll be have your breath be your soundtrack. Then press the pubic bone down. Maybe try to pull the pit of the belly up away from the floor. Drive the ribs forward a little bit more. Nice, and then you'll lower down, bring your hands back under the shoulders, tuck the toes under, press up and back to downward facing dog. The socks make it slippery. Good, and then breathe in. Breathe out, look to your hands and walk or hop your feet up to the hands. Come into ragdoll, holding on to the elbows. Drop your head or shake it yes and no. Maybe even add a little sway side to side. And release your hands to the mat. You can keep your feet as they are or toe heel them together. And then roll up to stand or come up with a flat back. Put your arms up overhead. Draw your hands to heart center. We'll flow here with breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank to low plank. You can step back or hop back. Welcome to use your knees or to the floor. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Good, and then make your way back to downward facing dog. Keeping the awareness around the center of your body, where the front ribs go in, back and down, the solar plexus area. The transverse abdominis, which is like a corset, you kind of wrap around the center of the body with some strength. Take one more breath in. Breathe out. Look forward and then bring your feet to your hands. You can walk or hop to the front. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain, rise to the top, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step or hop back, high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Look forward, walk or hop your feet to your hands. Lift halfway, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Extended mountain, inhale, reach up. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Step or float back, high plank, low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Step, hop, or tiptoe feet to hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. One more time, extended mountain. Reach up, maybe even add a hand to the back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank to low plank. Find and use your knees. Upward dog or cobra, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Come forward to high plank. And then we'll take 10 of these. It'll be knees to elbow. So it'll be right knee to left elbow and set it down, then left knee to right elbow. So just opposite under the body for 10, 9, there you go, 8, 7, good, Paulette. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then lower onto your belly. We'll come up into Sphinx pose again, and just hold that for a moment. So it's tricky to get the knee all the way to the elbow. I'm sure you noticed that. And one thing that helps with that is if you're not domed through the back, if you're domed through the upper back, it's way harder to get forward than if there's a little bit of a softness to the upper back. If it's too domed, it's so hard. There's like, you can't get there, but you soften and then it's there. So finding the balance between this and this, and it's fine to be on your knees is perfect. This is a perfect spot too, to curl in from. And also play with that. If you're too domed here, it's still hard, right? Softening and it touches. So let's try it one more time and play with that with the arms. You can also do these, the forearms, a little bit more challenging in some ways, easier in others. So do one more set of those, 10, your own way. It can be hands, forearms, knees, softening between the shoulder blades slightly, but pulling into the core. Yes, Kimberly, you feel the difference? Try for 10. Good. Call that soften between the shoulder blades. There it is. And you're curling into that spot that we were focusing on earlier, that solar plexus area, front ribs in, back and down. Awesome, Maria. Good, Kala. When you get to 10, you'll hold high plank. Lower down onto your belly. Sphinx pose for a gentle stretch. Drag the rib cage forward. And in Sphinx, you want to maybe try pulling the low belly up away from the floor. So it's not just hanging out in the back, but actually actively tractioning and dragging the rib cage forward. Very good. And then you'll lower down, slide the hands back, tuck the toes under, press up to plank and back to downward facing dog. And then right here, lift your right leg up towards the sky. And step it forward to warrior one. You'll spin the left foot flat and reach your arms up. Right foot comes all the way forward. Yeah, good. I love your mat. So bringing both arms up overhead, so by the ears, and the back hip is sort of coming forward. There's vocabulary around squaring the hips, but it's nearly impossible. So it's really not squaring the hips, but it's pulling the right femur bone back, sending the left hip forward, tailbone down, and then noticing the ribs. Are they poking forward? Are you disconnecting, or can you keep those front ribs pulling in, back, and down? We'll take one more breath here. Maybe reach a little higher, that little emphasis, and then set the hands down to the mat and step it back, high plank, low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg to the sky, full breath in, step it forward, left foot to left hand, right foot spins flat, and up you come, warrior one. Yeah, getting grounded through the feet, developing this awareness of where you are in space, what's happening through the center of the body. When you reach through the elbows, wrists, and fingers. And take one more breath, adding that little emphasis, setting the hands down to the mat, and high plank, low plank. Landing upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Good, breathing. Good, one more breath in. Breathe out, look to your hands and step or hop forward. Halfway lift, forward fold, chair pose, sit low, reach high. If you want a little challenge, you can take chair on your toes. Good, heels down if they're up, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. You can step or hop it back. Upward facing dog or cobra. It's an easy downward facing dog. Lift your right leg to the sky, breathe in. Step your right foot forward for crescent lunge. You'll keep the back heel lifted and come on up. Good. Give a little bend into that back knee. Sink down and opening up the hip flexors. And then cactus your arms. You're going to breathe in here. And its rib cage goes in, back, and down again. And twist to the right. So twist towards the mirror. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, back to center. One more time. Exhale, twist, hold that. And then tip forward. You'll set your elbow to the thigh, and then you can open the arms or press the palms together. And then straightening through the back leg if that feels okay. You can also set your left hand to the floor. And Maria, pull the right hip in towards the middle, more of the mat. Lift the belly away from the front thigh. Pull the left or right side of the rib cage in. Good, and then warrior two, you'll come up and around, spinning the left foot flat, using the bar as much as you need. Love that. Then flip the right, so right knee bent, flip the right palm up, reverse your warrior, inhale, and bring it forward into side angle, exhale. And you can set the hand down or not. And do that 3 more times. Inhale, come up and back, reverse, and exhale. Come forward, really pulling the belly button in. Inhale, come up and back. Exhale, come forward. Arms can be on or off your leg. Last one, inhale, take it up and back. This time you'll bring it forward to hold. So if you want to set the forearm to thigh or hand to block or floor, left arm of your choice. We'll call that. Noticing that breathing, try to find that diaphragm. Every exhale, pulling the front ribs in, back, and down to get that complete exhale. One more breath. And then look down, set your hands down to the mat, and step back, high plank to low, or you can move through cow and cat. If that feels better. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog, or child's pose or puppy pose. And inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through, crescent lunge. Back heel stays lifted. Come on up. Finding balance. And a little shorter stance is fine some days. Maybe bend the back knee a little bit. Cactus the arms, but soften the tops of the shoulders. Breathe in. Exhale. Twist the torso to the left. Inhale to center, moving slowly. Exhale. Pull those front ribs in, squeezing through the waist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist, empty, and then tip forward into your twist. You can hook the right elbow, maybe make a fist with the right hand and cover it with the left, or stretch the arms out. And then straighten that back leg, squeeze the right hamstring to the sky. Pull the pit of the belly away from the front thigh. Stop, good. And then you'll unwind and open into warrior two. Left knee bent, right leg straight, toggle more through the arms, and flip the left palm up, reverse your warrior, take it up and back, and exhale, bring it forward, side angle, arms on or off the front leg. Inhale, reverse warrior, moving again from that center of the body, and exhale, take it forward. 2 more times. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, full length of breath, pulling the front ribs in. Last one, inhale. And this time, bring it forward to stay. You can have forearm to thigh or hand to the floor. Right arm of your choice might feel best straight up for the shoulder or overhead, or I like the wrist rolls. It feels so good sometimes to just move through the joints. Good. Bring the heart center towards the ceiling. Set the left knee a little more to the left. Magic, yes. And then look down, hands to the mat, and you step it back. High plank, low plank, or skip it. Cow and cat is a great alternative. Upward facing dog or cobra or cow and cat. Downward facing or child's pose. And breathe right here. Take one more breath. Empty it out. Look forward and step or hop forward to your hands. Bring your feet to hip width distance apart. So catch your big toes with your peace fingers halfway lift. And bend the elbows and fold. Head drop. You can stay here or gorilla, sliding the palms of the hands under the soles of the feet, halfway lift, so create some length, and then bow forward again. So we can focus a lot on the hamstrings here by pressing the feet down and pressing the hips up towards the ceiling. And then a tiny bit of a rock forward, just tiny, but keep the heels glued to the ground. Good, release your hands. We'll heel the feet together, or they can stay exactly as they are. Hands to hips, rise up to stand. Extended mountain, huge breath in. Then hands to heart center, just pause. Into some balance. So if you're on the squishy part of the mat, you might want to come to the wood floor. Go behind mine. And then inhale, arms up. And on your exhale, eagle, right arm goes underneath the left. And then you'll bend the knees, right leg goes over the left. And then you're welcome to stay upright right here, or you can make this a little bit more of that abdominal crunch, and it's called flying eagle. You bring your elbows towards your knees, and you curl into your center, really pulling those front ribs towards the pelvis. Or you can stay more upright, that's fine. And then come back up if you're curled forward and unwind. Plant the feet, sweep the arms up, eagle other side, left arm goes under the right. Bend the knees, left leg goes on top. First, just get really established here. So the foot on the floor, the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Try to hold the belly firm as you breathe. And breathe in. And if you like, exhale, elbows towards knees, that flying eagle. And try to curl into center, like you're cinching through the waist without holding the breath. So the breath moves sideways. And exhale, front ribs pull in and down towards the pelvis. Good, and then come on up, plant the feet, sweep the arms up, and bring your hands to heart center. Good, and then dancer, you'll take your left arm up, bend the right knee, catch the right foot in your right hand. Squeeze the knees towards one another, nice job. And then slide the thigh back, kicking the foot into the hand, chest forward. If you need to hold on to something, you're welcome to. Good, and then come on up and switch legs. Right arm up, bend the left, catch the foot, find your center line, and then go, kick and go, where you can go. Good job, and then come back to stand. A couple back strokes here, or a little side to side. Rinsing it out. And then tree, you'll bring your right foot to your left leg, or if you have another favorite variation, you take that. And then you can have your hands together at the heart. Or you can take the arms up or interlaced. Good. See if you can remember that sideways breath, inhaling, like the ribs expand. Exhale, pulling all of that in, back, and down the front ribs. Good job. And then returning to mountain pose, 2 feet on the floor, arms by your side. Take a breath. And you'll switch sides, left foot to right leg, tree. Getting rooted and grounded here through the standing leg. Finding your center line, center front to back, side to side, and top to bottom. You grow your limbs, your arms. Aligning yourself to one thing. See one thing and softening the gaze, opening your peripheral vision, being grounded and present right here in your body. Where you can add a little length or a little tiny back bend. Bring your hands back to your heart, left foot down next to your right, arms by your sides. Take a breath in, reach up high. Breathe out, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And step it back to a high plank. Just stay here for a moment. We'll do one more round of these knee to elbow. And this time bring the same knee to the same elbow. So you'll touch and then foot down. So 10 of them. Same knee, same elbow. Or even try to get the knee up to the armpit or higher up on the tricep. And you want to shift your weight way forward into the fingertips. And then you soften between the shoulder blades. I'll know you're done because you'll be holding your plank after 10 with Maria. Try to get the knee up even higher towards the armpits. This is like a prep for crow. Good. And then lower down onto your belly, which we aren't doing today. Come up onto the forearms, Sphinx pose, stretching out abdomen. Or if you want cow and cat is another option, or seal where you lift the forearms and drag the ribs forward to get a little more opening. Pubic bone presses down, pit of the belly draws in, lengthening through the lower spine. Good, and then lowering down, press back to downward dog. You can go through plank first or to the knees, and then downward dog to breathe. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. And exhale, step it forward, coming up to warrior 2. Facing that, the gray wall. And then straighten your right leg. We'll come into triangle pose. So the hips move back, you reach forward. All those adjustments, mine does it too. And you can make this a little bit more core focused by maybe floating the right hand away from the shin. Only if that feels safe and okay in your body. Nice, Maria. Good job, you guys, breathing here. Good, and then let your left arm pull you up to stand. And you'll turn to face the gray wall, feet to parallel, hands to your hips, lift up through the chest, and then bow forward. Bring your hands to the floor between your feet, drop your head. Nice, Lanny, I love you can stay there, that's great.
I did that stuff. I was like,
I love that, using the bar. And then you can move a little bit here, side to side. You can move the pelvis side to side or bend one knee at a time, getting into the inner heads of the hamstrings, the inner thigh muscles. Get back to center if you're moving. Bring your hands to your hips. Come up to stand. And turn the right toes forward for pyramid. The left foot can step in and out slightly. Square the hips. This one, they are square. Lift up into your chest and then fold over the right leg. And I often bend the knee on the way down to get my hands to the floor. I like my fingertips on the floor. And then I'll begin to pull the right hip back, straightening into the hamstring, lengthening into the hamstring. You might even do that a couple times. Bend the knee, soften, create some slack, and then try to straighten the leg and pull the hip back. Check in with your foot, spread your toes out on the mat, press the big toe mound of the right foot down. Good job. Bend the knee, plant the palms. You can go straight back to down dog or high plank to low or knees at upward facing or cobra. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up and back. And go ahead and step it forward. Warrior two. And triangle, so you'll straighten the left leg. And the hips go to the right, create that hinge at the left thigh. And the left hand can drop to the shin, ankle block or floor. And the breath is in the lungs, not the belly. So keeping the belly firm. I know it's not easy. Keep that sense of like you're wearing a tight pair of jeans that you just zipped up without holding the breath. The breath is up in the upper lung, back of the lungs. You can float the left hand up if you want to work into those obliques a little bit more. Nice job. And then let the right arm pull you up. Bring your feet to parallel. Hands to the hips again. Lift up into the chest and hinge forward. Your hands to the floor. They can be between the feet, or maybe you want to walk them out in front of you like a down dog arm, and then move the hips side to side, not the knees. Hips side to side. You get up into those little attachment points up in the pelvis. Or it can be just stillness, or maybe the beginnings of a tripod headstand. Move your arms whenever you want, if ever you want. Good, and then lift back up to a flat back. Bring your hands to your hips. Come up to stand and turn the front toes, left toes forward. Step the right foot in and to the right. Square off the hips, so face towards me. I'm opposite of you.
That's my right.
Nope, other leg.
It's not here today. Sorry.
Okay, you got it. Breathe in. And then hinge forward. And it's fine to bend the front knee so your hands come down to the ground. And then try to pull the left hip back in space. And the foot rounded, or maybe lifted even is another option. Good job. Bend the knee, plant the palms. Last time through. High plank, low plank, or skip it. Upward facing dog or cobra. Cow and cat. Downward facing dog or child's pose. Let this be neutral through the spine. Pull the pit of the belly in slightly. Tailbone up, heels down, front ribs in. It's a key, those front ribs in. Look forward and you'll step or hop your feet through your hands. Sit down, lay down on your back. And set your feet flat to the floor. So this time we'll take a full bridge. So if you liked the bridges we started with, focusing more on the rib cage, you can stay there. Or arms down, lift the hips up into that full bridge where you come more up on the shoulders, backs of the shoulders, and you can interlace the hands underneath you to get that bigger shoulder chest stretch. But see if when you're here, you can keep remembering to pull the front ribs in, back and down with every exhale. So they're not poking up too much towards the ceiling. Up front body connected. Release the hands and lower slow. The breath. And then you can stay with bridge or you can plant your hands for wheel. Go back bend and come on up, bridge or wheel. Grounded through both feet. So back bends are working the core in a different way. They work the core as like the brakes versus the, the curling up. It's the resistance, the eccentric contraction. Good, and then lower down, release the hands, come down slowly, carefully, take a breath at the floor. And then last one, bridge or wheel, or if you have a block, want to put a block under the hip pelvis and rest on it, that's fine. We'll come on up to bridge or the partial bridge, the diaphragm breathing bridge, or wheel both. Slowly lower down. Bring your feet together, knees apart. Supta Baddha Konasana. Let it be easy here, natural breathing. And gently draw your knees together. Give them a hug up onto your chest. And then bring your knees to 90 degrees. And then bring your hands to your thighs. So you're going to imagine that you're trying to curl the tailbone up slightly by pressing the ribs down, and then press your hands into your thighs and your thighs into your hands. So you're resisting, doing a little extra work for the abs, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then gently hug the knees in. And bring the knees back to 90 degrees. This time, hands behind the head. Let the head rest in the hands. You'll curl the shoulder blades up off the ground and imagine that you're still pressing into the legs so that keeps that strength. And then twist towards the right knee and straighten the left leg. And then inhale to center and you'll go the opposite way. Twist to the left, straighten the right. Get the shoulder blades up off the ground. Inhale, center, exhale, twist. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good, last 10, 9, 8, strongly exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw the knees in, lower the head, rock a little. Take your arms out wide, let your knees fall together to the left. Just a simple abdominal twist. Come back through center and take your knees to the other side, knees to the right. And then bring it back to center and set your feet flat to the floor. And then draw your right knee into your chest and straighten your leg. Bring your hands behind the right hamstring. Yeah, so keep the left foot flat. That works. And then maybe you slide your hands up towards the calf a little bit. And you can move the foot around. That's a great idea. You can move the leg a little bit, right to left. Then I'm going to have you reach with your opposite hand. So most it'll be the left, pull that with your right hand. You'll reach to the outside of the right leg. Left hand to the outside of the leg. Yeah, so it's either the foot or the calf. And you'll bring the leg towards you a little bit and then towards the hand that's holding the leg. So most of you go to the left and you'll go to the right slightly with the leg. Yes. Now try to pull the pinky toe edge of the foot back towards your face. Oh, there it goes again. So weird. So strange. There's Mercury in retrograde. There's something strange. I don't know. Maybe just for me. So you want to press the hip down towards the mat. Oh, good. Yeah. Press the right hip down towards the mat as the leg goes a little bit more to the left, just a little and towards you. And then bring it back to center. And you'll bend the knee, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, and press your hand into the right leg. So press it away from you for a moment. So creating some traction through the front of the hip. And then you can pick the left foot up, take your reclined pigeon. Your hands can go behind the left hamstring or in front of the left shin, or you can even cradle the right leg. So you can bring the right foot towards the left elbow crease to hug it in a little deeper. What's funny is I often even stream the music, but today it's downloaded and I'm on Wi-Fi and it's not working. I don't know. Funny. Let's take a couple deep breaths right here. Gently release. You'll bring both feet to the floor. Maybe windshield wipe the knees side to side. Or any movement or no movement. And then feet flat. Draw the left knee in. Interlace your hands behind the hamstring. Pull the thigh to the chest, then straighten the leg. Maybe your hands go right up to the calf or the foot. You could rotate the ankle. Circles or side to side. Flex. Keep the back of that left hip really glued to the mat. And then moving towards that IT band a bit, you hold on to the leg left foot with the right hand or left calf with the right hand. Bring the leg towards you and then to the right, pull a little bit. And then pull the pinky toe edge of the foot back towards you. If you can hold the pinky toe edge, you just gently pull it towards you. Just like that, good, Lammy. And you bring your leg towards you and to the right, another inch. Keep the left hip pressing forward and downward. Oh, I feel it. Good, bring it back to center, bend the knee, cross the ankle over the right thigh. Use your left hand to press the left thigh away first, get that space at the front of the hip, top of the hip. Then pick up the right foot and interlace your hands somewhere on the right leg or cradle the left. Gently release that, draw both knees into your chest. And then you can take happy baby here, reaching for the feet, so pinky toe edges or inner edges, bend the knees towards the outer ribs, press the tailbone towards the floor. And then you're free to rock a little bit, side to side here. And my favorite is to straighten the legs, kicking the heels towards the side walls. So I get the most opening there for the hamstrings and the inner thighs, the hips, but you don't have to. These can stay back. And then gently release that. Plug the knees in one more time, set the feet to the floor. And then you can either let the knees knock together, feet apart for your Shavasana, which is a great way to just give a reset, the pelvis and low back, or you can straighten your legs out on the mat, arms by your side, palms up, coming into rest. Just those few precious moments to find some stillness. And then today's reading in the book Journey to the Heart for November 23rd is called Discover the Power of Your Heart. Much of the journey has held lessons about power. Many of us have experimented with different kinds of power. At times, we may have used force, brute strength. Certainly, most of us have experimented with power plays, only to find that they aren't the answer either. Along the way, some of us may have gotten hard, cold, rigid, even angry, thinking that was a way to own our power. Often, these attempts don't signal power, they signal fear. True, for many of us, learning to experience, express, and release our anger has been an important milestone on our path to power. But the power we're seeking is different from force, coldness, hardness, or power plays. We aren't learning to flex our muscles that way. Open to a new kind of power, the power of the heart, clarity, compassion, gentleness, love, understanding, comfort, forgiveness, faith, security with acceptance of ourselves and all our emotions, trust, commitment to loving ourselves and to an open heart. That's the power we're seeking. That's true power, power that lasts, power that creates the life and love we want. In those situations that call for power, we can trust that brute strength, coldness, or rage won't get us what we want. Relax. Stop flexing your muscles. Instead, open your heart. Let power come gently. Let a new strength flow through you. Defend yourself when necessary, but avoid any actions that take you away from peace and joy. Whatever your situation, relax your body, relax your mind, and trust your soul. Your heart will lead the way, not just to love, but also to power. Let it come gently, let it come freely. Then the power you receive will be true. Bring your attention back to your breath. You have a different awareness of your breath after that practice today. Start to move your fingers and your toes. And gently move your head from side to side or stretch your body, arms overhead, whatever feels good to you. And as you're ready, you can bend your knees and roll to a comfortable side. And then press yourself up to a seated position and close your eyes. That's all right. Put the palms of your hands together, center of your chest. Love that reading today about true power comes from the heart, gentle way. Not by force, boldness, feeling your power. Put your thumbs up to your forehead. Have a really beautiful day and week ahead. Namaste. Thank you.
It was really lovely.
Suggestion. I avoid those.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.